welcome to the Pastor's Desk, a devotional series. I'm Pastor Brandon, and today's topic is dealing with depression. So let me read a quick definition of depression. A lowering or decrease of functional activity. In psychiatry, a mental state of altered mood characterized by feelings of sadness, despair, and discouragement, distinguished from grief, which is realistic and proportionate to a personal loss. So, depression is closely associated with a lack of confidence and self-esteem, and with an inability to express strong feelings. Repressed anger is thought to be a powerful contributor to depression. The person feels inadequate to cope with a situation that arises in everyday life and so feels insecure. So there's kind of many different reasons why people get depressed. It can be a prolonged state of grief that has transferred from a normal grieving period to an extended amount of grief, which just totally incapacitates you. And I believe we're all allowed a grace period of time to grieve a loved one or something like that. But once it turns into to where you just aren't able to function, then it's turned from healthy grief to depression. And that's what we're going to kind of cover today and kind of deal with and give you the ways to fight against it. Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word makes it glad. So, usually anxiety about anything can cause depression. You know, if you worry about something too much, depression is right behind it. So, seek good words. Associate yourself around things of positivity, encouragement, comfort, peace, and joy. These things can help fight against depression. And the best place to find this is in the Bible and listening to Christian songs that are uplifting. Psalm 143, 7-8. Answer me speedily, O Lord, my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, lest I be like those who go down into the pit. Cause me to hear your loving kindness in the morning, for in you do I trust. Cause me to know the way in which I should walk, for I lift up my soul to you. I believe when we hear a word from the Lord or feel His presence, that can help fight against the depression. Also, when we seek to know what He wants us to do for Him, when we actually do things for the Lord, that fights against depression. If you just stay in one spot and you just say, woe is me, and you stay in one place and just let the despair close in, it's like a fog around you. Get out of that. Say, no, I'm not going to just sit here. I'm going to go do something for the Lord. And then in so doing, you will be more than likely helping someone else. And this will cause your depression to stay in the background. You won't even be thinking about that. It might still be there, but it will slowly fade away because you are not focusing on your depression and being upset and all the pains or whatever it is, but you're focusing on other things, and in this, it will help your mind to be released from the grasp of depression. And I do believe that depression is one of the tools of the enemy. So the devil does use depression to keep us down and out of the fight, so to speak. So if you know that that's one of the tools of the devil, that might also help you get out of it. Saying, oh, wait a minute, I've been depressed. The devil's attacking me. He's got to be doing this. I'm not going to let him succeed in his fight, in his attack, so I'm going to counteract that. I'm going to fight against it. 2 Corinthians 7:6. Nevertheless, God, who comforts the downcast, comforted us by the coming of Titus. So this was some way God used to comfort others. But God can use many ways to comfort us. And when we are downcast, when we are downtrodden, when we are depressed, when we are upset, God will be our comforter. And that is who you need to look to receive this comfort. Psalm 42:11. Why are you cast down, O my soul, and why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise Him, the help of my countenance and my God. So when the next time that you're feeling depression, fight against it by praising God, by hoping in God, and I believe that He will help you get out of it. Philippians 4:6, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. So earlier we saw that anxiety can lead to depression. So if you are anxious, start praying. Lord, I don't know how to deal with my circumstance right now. It's too much for me to bear. Feels like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, but I'm casting my burdens on you because that's what you've asked me to do. And I'm going to trust in you, I'm going to hope in you, and I'm going to pray to you. Let's look at the definition of joy. Intense and especially ecstatic or exultant happiness, or an instance of such feeling, to take great pleasure, to rejoice, a deep feeling or condition of happiness or contentment, something causing such a feeling, a source of happiness, an outward show of pleasure or delight, rejoicing. So, that's one of the ways that we can fight against depression, to rejoice, to have joy. And if you have joy, you can't be depressed at the same time. It's like two opposite ends of the spectrum. So if you are constantly surrounding yourself around things that cause joy, maybe you need to laugh. You need some humor in your life. Go look up some good, funny, wholesome jokes, or watch some good, funny Christian movies or something. It might uplift your spirit. I trust that it will. But in Philippians 4:4 it says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. So when next time you start feeling depression, rejoice. Count your blessings. Thank the Lord. Cry out, Lord, thank you so much. Be happy about it. Be joyful. And then in 1 Thessalonians 5:16 it says, rejoice always. Again, so both places it's telling you to rejoice always. If you're always rejoicing, how can you be depressed? That's what God's telling us to do, because He knows the devil will creep in and try to get you to slowly fall into depression. And once you're in depression, it is hard to get out. It's like quicksand. The more you struggle, the more you sink down in it. Okay, but if you are fighting against depression before it even strikes, it has no room to wiggle in there and get you. Let's go to Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. When we have a broken spirit, when we are depressed, it feels like we're dying inside, doesn't it? But when you have a merry heart, when you're just like, oh man, this is awesome, everything is cool, everything is good, everything is a blessing. If you're thinking like that, if you train your mind, see, that's where it is. You got to train your mindset to be like this. You need to look at everything, oh man, Lord, thank you. Yes, sometimes things knock you off your rocker and some bad thing strikes, but don't dwell on it for too long, because that will only lead to depression. Don't focus on your problems. Focus on God, and He will get you out of it. And then finally, Philippians 4:8, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. That is what we need to focus our mindsets around. Not on the problem, not on the depression, not on the bad things, but focus it on positive things, things that will uplift you in your mind and your body and your spirit. This is how you need to live. This is how you need to think, and I trust that you will be able to fight against any depression in your life. And seek after God, and He will give you the right answer and the truth behind this. I pray you got something good out of this. Stay tuned to the next one. See you later. God bless you.